Seemed like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
I'm sorry, didn't see you there. I was just lost in memories. Memories of a dream. You know, I used to explore these wastelands too. I had big dreams. Dreamt of being big. I wanted to go to the strip, swing with the big boys, and just have fun until the inevitable takes us by storm for good. Not everyone gets a bingo, kid. Nobody does. Care to hear my story?
Look out!
This video is gonna be a bit more than usual. For a long time, I noticed an absolute stall on my progress in YouTube as a creator, and I didn't exactly know how I should talk about it since it's not really a standalone topic. But now, having finally finished the playthrough of Fallout New Vegas, I think now it's gonna be a good time to have a little discussion about both social apocalypses. And I'm not just basing this joke off of the adpocalypse term, this is a real issue. Fallout New Vegas is my only personal experience with the series. It takes place in the Las Vegas area of 2218, but just saying that isn't the entire deal. The universe shifted from our current timeline at some point during the Cold War to World War II, I think 1961, roughly. And the key difference was, instead of inventing transistors or microchips, which led to laptops, fast computers, and smartphones, atomic energy fascinated the world much more, and the promise, and the actual manifestation, eventually, of endless power to machines had driven the world power-hungry for endless power. Not a safe war when there isn't an end, but that's the whole point. When technology advances at a quicker pace than people have time to have a strict opinion and moral laws in regards to said technology, it backfires forever. Nobody had time to criticize nuclear energy because everyone was too horny over endless possibilities. And I'll give them credit, in the roughly 100-year diversion until 2077, they went wild. They made super robots of all kinds, mostly flying cars, power armor, plasma rifles of all sorts, everything. It's really incredible. Such a shame the war ended on 2077, where Psy finally released Despacito 76 onto the United States. Most citizens just died from radiation, but turned many into pretty much zombies, ghouls, nearly skinless humanoid remains that walk around, some still acting the same as they did before their finite transformation, and some insane from the radiation and years of nothingness in the wastes. They don't die because the radiation heals them, and they also kind of emit radiation, so that's very efficient, at least. There are also human groups that turned into Hulks and the similar, such as the super mutants and the super duper mutants, the Nightkin, which have used the powerful Stealth Boy machine so much that they have somehow become addicted to it and went insane from it as well. There are also plenty humans left in the world you play in, most originating from vaults. The vaults are the safest way to die in the post-bomb world. I won't play the joke up, the vaults were a cruel and genius idea by the government to conduct social tests and experiments. 99% of the US citizens didn't resist to the concept of, not dying in a nuclear wipeout, so they happily entered the vaults they were invited to. The vaults range from experiments in simple gang wars between red to blue as factions and seeing what happens, to planning a leak on the bottom floor of the vault that will allow radiation and outside life forms into the vault, and, locking up one ginger kid in a vault all by himself with a box of puppets driving him mad, go figure. All of this is still really just the surface level. All these radiated zombies, invisible, insane mutants, government underground experiments, and atomic energy wonders. This is all not even scratching the surface of the actual plot. I still have many things to say about the New California Republic, Kaiser's Legion, Mr. House, Radio New Vegas, and more. And that didn't mean anything to you if you don't know Fallout. But you do. People watch things they know at my current view count. I don't have the status of people clicking my videos of thumbnails and titles because they're interested in a new topic. In fact, people don't click my videos. Here's why I got to where I am. So, this is an algorithm change that sealed my fate. This is a strategic mistake. I made a channel shift at the worst possible time when I was still growing. I started making Let's Play videos, got popular from them, mostly from Anti-Birth and After Earth Plus, along with glitch and feature showcases I did, which was what my channel was first really strongly themed around. Undertale secrets, which were good videos, like, I don't know, I like acknowledging how actually good they are, whatever. So now, my sub base originates from people who enjoy either Isaac content, any of it, or showcase videos for popular games. So right then, when I started pulling numbers, I started also swinging towards left field. I always believed that I make the content that I would watch. That's why right now I mainly sell myself as video essays, as those are the prominent videos I enjoy watching, although I have quite a lot of, shitposts and memes I create, as that's also a culture I love. Hopefully you'll get to hear more about my video idea about memes next week, but I can't guarantee that. That's quite a risky topic. I'm writing this quite unsure if I'll make this video in time anyway. Regardless, sometime after summer 2017, which was a fantastic time for me, I made about 3 Let's Play videos a week, and loved every second of fan interaction. It was a very good time, but then time came and I stopped. I took a week-long break from my channel, remade the banner, the profile picture, and made my breakout essay, I guess, regarding the Switch and virtual reality. Later in the year, I reused that script for a final project in my English class, and I gotta say, it went pretty swell. Certainly making these videos helped me improve my writing and all that, but far more than the actual class. But in doing that, I committed the 3 algorithm sins of YouTube. See, other channels that make video essays can have a similar subcount to me. Just take a look at someone like Lexpionage, MML's commentaries, or LoadSave. All great channels that discuss gaming and some delve into social commentary, but not the point. All these have roughly just as many subscribers as me, but notice the difference. All these channels have a far higher attach rate to their sub count, which has always been the biggest chore in YouTube. Trying to at least have all your subs watch your videos, and with the staff constantly making reaching your own bloody subscribers harder, it's really, really hard. But the reason these people have better attach rates is simple. They started there. I may get about 15,000+ views a month, but how much of it is for my modern videos? Almost none, seriously. 1. Just, come on. And it's not even an essay, it's a compilation of Donkey in 2017. None of this is about me, which means all of this audience does not care for me. I am absolutely #blessed to have a community that does like me in our Discord. I love all the friends I make through this channel, and it really means the world to me that there are still some people that stayed even with the channel shifts. Thank you. But now to the other sins, shitposting on main. That's right, having inconsistent upload schedule, or at least a lacking schedule, can get YouTube to quickly mark you off as dead. Almost 2 weeks with no uploads, followed by a drop in views and shift of content. All those combined just ended my channel. It's practically meaningless. The algorithm can't switch this late unless this video, for example, gets really big and drives a number that can override the dead sub count, and by that, changing my tags in the system to my current content form. But really, unless I get a big shout out from a big YouTuber or get lucky trying to promote myself in like Reddit or whatever, both of which I don't think I'll enjoy trying because that just kind of feels wrong, you know? Yeah, I'm dust, kid. Go back to the wasteland. There's nothing for you to find here. New Vegas is something unique in games. The entire Fallout universe is such a diversion from almost any other shooter on the market. Its rich background and mysteries and paths that can be expanded onto are something that few games that aren't role-playing games do. Because Fallout is a role-playing game.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for...
It's practically common knowledge, but to get you up to speed, the first 2 Fallout games, and some others I guess, were isometric 2D-ish text-based RPGs in the likes of, I don't know, Final Fantasy. This is the thing. I don't play RPGs usually. I don't find anything appealing in text on text on text, but Fallout tricked me anyway with its modern revision. It took the formula right into the heart of enjoyable shooting mechanics, fun areas, of course the alluring visuals of New Vegas. It all hides the fact that most of what I do is actually read text. Managing my inventory feels fast because it means I go right back into action once I do it well. Conversations will lead to my story while travel next, and VATS. Oh, VATS. VATS are the game's cherry on top of modernizing the RPG genre. The VATS might seem like an overpowered headshot machine, but a key aspect of Fallout is role-playing with yourself. On many fights where just surviving until I can land enough headshot with VATS didn't seem like the most enjoyable method, I did decide to delve a bit deeper into the combat world and start strategizing. Do I aim for the legs and slow down the big gunners? Do I try to knock down the gun off their hands? Do I aim for the guy far away and risk missing him entirely? It becomes much less of a mindless shooter, but it doesn't feel mundane and boring because of how dynamic the results are and not very clearly determined by spots on a grid. It's moving, it's agile, everything is sliding around, the NPCs are coded very deeply to react to different situations, and you can learn patterns as you go through the game. And by pattern I mean exploits. Of course, I can't just praise New Vegas for so long without doing a fair bit of criticism about the bugs. The game is buggy as hell. Whenever you pick up a small object, everything surrounding it will begin to float. Companions have a thing for following you in the worst paths possible. Many crashes, broken walls, quests can become impossible to finish because of things you are not in control of at all. This used to be fine because of the time the game came out in, but now with Zelda Breath of the Wild using the same engine, Havoc, for handling their physics, there were clearly different approaches. Nintendo, being the perfectionist they aspire to be, delayed the game over and over and over. They said this in many interviews. The reason the game took this long to make was because of engine imperfections, specifically floaty objects were mentioned, and Bethesda, followed by Obsidian, just went whatever. They didn't go all out on perfecting this massive hurdle and just carried it with them. And as a result, the hurdle clung on and was always in front of the final product. Bethesda games are now known for these bugs, and that didn't quite backfire proper until they released the next Fallout game, which, with its reworked engine, people expected some solutions to the game-breaking bugs, but those were nowhere to be seen. Backing off from the bugs though, let's start talking about the actual world and what are the things that'll keep you occupied for hours in the wasteland. Let's talk politics. Kaiser's Legion. I'll save you the story, but click here or the end card at the end of the video to hear a really good discussion about this whole background of the debacle I'll cover now. Short version, there's post-apocalyptic romance. Kaiser's Legion is scared of the future. They resort to melee weapons and simple-fashioned guns. They take slaves, capture land savagely, and act like the righteous ones, or get killed as a low-ranked member. They are built around giving the leader more defenses, and for that they take over all the land they can, either gathering resources or gathering people with no better future in sight. Kaiser, the leader, does not know, however, the end of the Roman Empire's life. He does not predict two very likely outcomes of the clan's ways, one being him dying of old age, or, well, you know, the brain tumor he casually mentions a couple of times, leaving the Legion confused and lost in the wastes, or running out of places they can capture. They don't have any chance of capturing the strip itself or interest, and in the other way is just NCR territory, and the far more successful one than Vegas's NCR camps. Alright, who are NCR? Didn't cover that. The New California Republic are a comically tragic faction of the Texas wasteland. The NCR originated as an attempt to bring back the latest pre-war governing back to America, but conceptually they wanted to do it without all the parts that flawed it. But those flaws didn't compact in with the ideas. They were a result of the good ideas it had, but the NCR didn't seem to get the memo. The NCR seems like the government when you first go through the game. Solid armor, many encampments, buildings, ranks. Hell, my country's army feels less organized. At first, one of the longer and more important side quests related to the NCR revolves around traveling to different stations, helping communication errors, radar attacks, problems, radiation, and an entire atomic bomb, whoops, Legion attacks, and throughout all those quests and their paths, two things keep coming up in conversation: lack of supplies and lack of communication.
Not good. We still haven't gotten any support from the rest of the NCR, and the Legion is kicking our ass right now. Any word on Station Charlie? We have no men or supplies, and we're stretched too thin trying to guard the entire river. If the brass back home could get their heads out of their asses long enough to send support, we could turn this all around.
We are so fucked here. How can we ever hope to fight off the entire Legion?
The NCR roots in, well, California just kinda sent soldier groups after groups to the Vegas region just to test the waters, but they didn't call them back until something good came out of it. And when something good came out of it, Hoover's damn power capabilities and their political influence, they just told them to stay, having nothing to do. No need for resources until the last second. A confusion breezing through everyone as they aren't even sure what they were meant to do here in the first place, far away from home. And I make a great anecdote here of war never changes, but it deserves to be said in the better follow video essay than this. Please watch this video about the two factions. And whew, boy, speaking of war, it was not easy to find good video essays to link here. I made a playlist that I also recommend going through later of good Fallout New Vegas essays, because most I found were why FNV is better than F4, 10 reasons New Vegas got it right, Fallout 4 actually sucked. And all those contrarian videos are something I didn't even want to consider giving the dissatisfaction of a click. But I still know they're doing better. I know that gets views. If you want a YouTuber that does good clicky thumbnail discussions, check out Haydux, please. He discusses stuff like contrarianism as well, but I do have to say, I don't accept it as much as he does. I think there's ways to get attention, which is a normal thing to want, again, without doing it by disturbing other people's experiences or feelings over something. It's a rough place out here, but because of the way people work, trying to defend things they love for the fairly fair goal of supporting the people who made the game so there will be sequels and they will be happy, but overall, comments have no actual influence compared to a video essay. Blue Shades made an excellent video talking about the dangerous power of one-sided video essays and how they can enforce an opinion from such a high platform over any denial. I strongly recommend you watch that too, to again, just give you a little more food for thought about any future video essay I do or anyone does. All these videos I mentioned are linked in the description so you can round them up at the end of the video. Personally, I think my thumbnails are well done and portray the content fairly well. I might not be the purest option, but I think I'm in a fairly respectable position in this regard. My thumbnails have this simplistic shitpost-like style to them, especially on streams, which are equally shittier in content in terms of complete quality and downtime. And those elements are meant to attract the relating crowds. And if the goal of that is the people are being happy, sure. And I think I'm not the first to try this mindset. One of the things I find psychologically fascinating about Fallout is the radio. Mr. New Vegas sits in his throne away from the eyes of anyone, sharing some news to the waste and playing copyrighted music I can't play here. And for many people, that classic 60s swing music played throughout all games are one of the most memorable aspects. Big Iron, Country Roads, Set the World on Fire, all these songs are so cheerful with a funky beat and a lovely voice to them, but why? Why does everyone remember the cheerful music when what they're actually going through is what remains of hell? It's essentially almost every person who played this game falling into the government's delusion in a way. Now, don't get tinfoiling just yet, this is just the biggest memory of it, but everything in the game that remained of the old world is quite similar, and most notably, your Pip-Boy and Voltec. Volt-Boy, this smiley fella won't stop shining his merry teeth at you until the very end. Everything you achieve, everything you go through, everywhere you go, a smile and a promise of an ideal lifestyle is still presented to you 200 years after the world has ended. So I played my second playthrough without music. It was odd. The soundtrack is pieced of seemingly random environmental bits, and I checked the files later in the music in order to make this video, and yeah, all you hear are 5 to 10 second excerpts of certain notes and tracks at a simple, melancholic chord, pieced together to fit the mood, time and day, and danger levels. It's you. It's your mind. It's actually music to accompany a wasteland. It really is. It kind of scary way to roam the waste. But that's not what we're here for, is it? Because remember what that fella once said. Ain't that a kick in the head? How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the road? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. Like sunshine enough to spread. It just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the fella once said, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. I could feel any better, or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?